believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing world. And welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And if you can't tell, there's a poinsettia sitting in my background. So we're in the throes of the holidays here on Earth. And we're probably about 2 weeks before Christmas. Can't believe it. It's like it's finally here. And, I decided that we're going to probably focus on some really personal values that I hold near and dear to my heart. And today we're going to talk about self-compassion and self-love. And so I decided to title this episode Deck the Halls with Self-Compassion and love. I find that many of us have a tendency to be so hard on ourselves and really feel guilty or shamed or whatever those little drama pieces are from our past or childhood, or even what we call past life hangovers, things that have happened from another time and place that are still running the show in this time and place. And I feel that self-compassion is so necessary right now. In fact, I think many of us need a whopping dose of it. Because things are, let's face it, they're not, easy peasy. There's been a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges in our external world. The key is, and my hope for everybody is that once you come within yourself, that you will embrace that inner peace and the quiet and the serenity and that certainty that you gain by coming to the place within yourself so that you could feel safe, secure, no matter what is circling around you on the external. Wouldn't that be a concept, huh? Well, the good news is I'm hoping to teach you a little bit more about that so you could really be the calm within the storms of your life, and particularly during the holiday seasons where things just get cranked up a few notches of external chaos. Did you ever notice that? What I'm going to say is stay tuned, pop your popcorn, and watch the show. That's simple. And it's a metaphor for looking at life as well. And what I mean by that, it is to observe what's going on instead of reacting and becoming part of it. There's a difference. And sometimes it's really challenging to, if you're the type of person that talks with your hands, you sit on your hands and you try to talk. Sometimes that's hard because it's like your hands are so involved with what you're saying. It's like you're torturing yourself because your hands are so part of your demonstration of communication that attempting to do that without your hands can be an interesting exercise. I invite you to try that. So anyway, let's just talk about the holiday season in general, because I think there's so much with it and so much history and so much angst and so much joy that's all bundled together that it's almost like it's like I'm going to say it's the poo-poo platter sometimes at at the buffet. It's like it has a little bit of everything, yet it's like appetizers of what's to come. So when we are you know, I think the holidays bring up a lot for a lot of people. And, a lot of times it's nostalgia of things, the way things used to be, or, the feelings of connection or our perception of what things should be, when in essence, in reality, some things are not that. And I think that kind of sets a lot of people up for a lot of disappointment. And I'm not saying it's not a good thing to dream and believe. It's a great thing to dream and believe, but yet it's like let's have a dose of reality with that too, because sometimes we get so off on the rails of what things should look like, and then in reality they're not. We have a tendency to feel disappointed. So it's really about having some compassion for ourselves and just allowing ourselves to focus on taking care of us individually. Each one of us is in charge of taking care of yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And setting some really, strong boundaries so that you could show up during these times, but also any time of the year, as the best version of yourself. So it's really about setting boundaries and honoring yourself. And if you're tired, by all means, don't push the envelope. Or I have this saying, burning the candle at both ends and in the middle. Do you have the visual of that? It's like you're going, 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 and it's just like you're so on overextension and burnout that you are, exhausted, yet you keep pushing yourself. And if you don't get that rest and sleep, your body goes into massive stress. And then when you're stressed out, your immune system goes to, crazy making, or I call it hell in a handbasket, because your immune system is going to get lowered. And guess what? You're going to get a cold, sick, or something else. How many times I'm just cracking up because I saw this joke the other day, or this thing come through on social media, and it's about a toddler. You know how toddlers always want to share their stuff with you and their food and everything else. And it's about the gift that keeps on giving during Christmas. The best, sharing food with a toddler at the holidays is a sure sign that you're going to probably get sick. So I'm just laughing because it's true, because I love young kids and stuff like that. They're so innocent, yet um their immune systems are developing, so they get sick a lot. And usually if you have kids in the household, everybody gets sick. And sometimes it's the known, I'm going to say it's just known, if you have young children under the ages of 7, it's like you're going to constantly be, I'm going to say, amplifying and fortituding their immune systems, because they're going to catch everything. And it's actually kind of a good thing, because it builds their immunity. But yet a lot of people who have kids are always getting a cold or whatever. When their kids are sick, they get sick as well too, because it's in the household. So it's like the gift that keeps on giving. So this is so even more important at this time, that you really take care of yourself and make sure you get enough rest, enough sleep. And sometimes your body is talking to you and we ignore it. Case in point, I'm just going to share something from me personally. Is it's like I knew that I had things scheduled today, early in the morning, and somehow I was just so exhausted yesterday when I went to bed. I don't think I set the alarm, and I slept right through it. In fact, I slept 3 hours later than what I was supposed to get up to do this appointment. And I was like, oh wow. So yeah. Do I feel guilty? Or for a brief moment I did. And I just wrote an email to the person and I said, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. I take full responsibility. And, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Obviously, I was exhausted and tired, and I'm not going to apologize for that. It's just like I just obviously needed the sleep. And if you're okay with that, great. If you aren't, that's fine too. That's on you. But stuff happens, and it's about us making ourselves a priority and putting ourselves first. So on the flip side of that, it taught me too that maybe I'm overextending myself, number one, because usually on days that I do podcast, I like to keep my mornings open. So I am not feeling stressed or out of alignment or balance, because I want to be 100% spot on for what I deliver to my audience, and how I do that. And I want to be fully present for you as well. So yeah, that's a classic example of what happened to me, fresh off the press from today. So stuff does happen. Stuff happens to everybody. Nobody's exempt. And we're always works in progress. And I say this from my heart, because we are here to learn. We're learning and growing. And when we have these expectations of ourselves that we either have to be perfect or it has to be perfect, I feel that we are trying to control something that really we have no business controlling. And I'm not saying that it should be a free for all, but it's like when we take the brakes off and allow ourselves the grace to just be in the present moment and be spontaneous, and being able to um, move forward from awareness of what's happening instead of reactivity, that's a game changer. And it's a game changer for a lot of people. So and actually, it kind of brings more joy into your life, because that unknowingness allows you to respond in ways that you probably would have never thought that were capable of responding, because you're so into controlling how you respond to everything. It's just like, who made that rule up? Seriously, it's time to, you know, have some self-compassion and self-love, and to really, lean into it, especially during the holiday season, where we could really practice a lot of these tools. And like I was saying, let's face it, stress happens, life happens all year round. It's not just consolidated at one time of the year. I think it happens all year round. Just gets intensified certain times of the year. And when we're able to gain wisdom from and collect tools and access those tools we have to allow ourselves to move more fluidly through these time periods where where these pockets of increased activity or stress occur, that you're going to be able to dance through life with a lot more grace and ease. So it's something to really ponder and think about. So self-compassion is just, it's like the best gift that you could give yourself. It's like giving yourself grace, and giving yourself cutting yourself some slack, because we all need to cut ourselves some slack. A lot of times we are so hard on ourselves that, we've been programmed at an early age, and a lot of it's like comes through our ancestral lineage of how people were treated within their family unit, but also to, realizing what is no longer working for you, okay, the awareness, and also, once you're aware, being able to do something different on your terms. So we're getting ready to go on our first break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we come back, we're going to talk about more ways that you can be kinder and more compassionate to yourself. So stay tuned and see you on the other side.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're talking about self-compassion today and how important that is, especially, giving this as a gift to yourself during the holiday season. And not only the holiday season, any time of the year. But since we're in the holiday season, what a great idea, giving yourself the gift of self-compassion. Especially when people ask you, what do you want for Christmas? You could say a whopping dose of self-compassion. That would really be a conversation starter, wouldn't it? Actually, it'd be pretty funny, but it's something to consider, especially for those of you who like to play a little bit and have some fun with people. I think it's a showstopper, but it's also a conversation starter too, because so many of us have a tendency to be kinder to strangers than we are to ourselves. We have a tendency to judge and criticize ourselves in the quiet of our mind. When you think nobody else is listening or hearing, but you're saying these nasty things to yourself, like, I'm just too fat. I'm never good enough. I always seem to make the same mistakes. And it's like you're beating yourself up to a pulp. And we've got to stop that, because what we know is this. Everything starts with us first, okay? And I know that's a stretch for some people and some listeners, but I invite you to just sit with that, because everything does start with us first. We are energetic beings. Everything that we are, our thoughts, our beliefs, the things we say out loud to ourselves, the things we say to ourselves in silence, is all energy, okay? It's like the things that many of us cannot see, because we have a tendency just to believe sometimes if we can't see it, it doesn't exist. But it does exist. It's energy. It's waveforms. Okay. Case in point, you could be thinking about somebody 1,000 miles away that you haven't heard from in a while. And you send that thought out, and the next thing you know, the phone rings and it's that person. We've all had those experiences. So this is just a demonstration of how energy works and how quickly it does. So when we are able to change thoughts and thought patterns and belief patterns, it's like flipping switches, and it changes that quickly. Okay, that's just the magic and the serendipity and the wanderlust, I guess, if you want to call it that, of what we're all about. So circling back to it starts with us first, is that when we are beating ourselves up, guess what? Energetically, we're just lowering the vibration in our body. When we lower the vibration in our body, it's easier for us to decrease our resistance, okay? It makes us more susceptible to picking up viruses and colds, stuff like that, and we get sick because we run ourselves down. It's like that lower vibrating thing is going to attract lower vibrating items and entities and beings into our space, and it's going to, because like attracts like, okay? So when you raise your frequency in your energy field by saying more positive things to yourself, or even the word self-compassion is a higher vibrating word than, worry, stress, or fear, which is down here. So when you just even start, the awareness is that you're doing it, okay? You're aware that you're doing these things to yourself. Just play with the idea of focusing on self-compassion, just the word, and use it as a mantra. When you're starting to feel yourself being dragged into the rabbit hole of wanting to beat yourself up, just remind yourself self-compassion, self-compassion, just as a mantra, self-compassion, self-compassion, and just witness what happens within you. Okay? Don't react to it, just witness. You're going to find that whatever was there that was triggering you is going to soften and melt away. And you're going to have more peace and more serenity within yourself. It almost sounds like it's magical thinking, but I invite you, especially my skeptic there, that oh, well, that's just a bunch of baloney. Well, you know what? I invite you to try it and have your own experience and then make a judgment call on that. Because until you actually have that experience, you may be the doubting Thomas, or you might be very skeptical, and that's okay. I welcome skeptics, but I'm also going to remind you that by you having an experience, this is going to possibly lay the foundation of where you may be going in the future, because once you open that door, you cannot go back to not being aware. Okay, it's just one of those things. The doorway's open, and it's very challenging to go back to the way things were. And in fact, it gets really kind of painful because you're not really comfortable with that no longer. You've created a new possibility for yourself. So I just invite you to take a step through the doorway and just allow yourself to experience things, because this could be a game changer for you in a very positive and transformative type of way. And we're in a state right now where there's a lot of possibilities, and we're in charge of that. So circling back again to the self-compassion and the self-love that we have for ourselves, we all contribute to the collective consciousness, that huge invisible pool that's out there that has every um, energetic response in humanity's creation and existence. Okay, we all contribute to that. I know that's a real stretch for some of you, but just listen to this for just a minute, and I invite you to just be open-minded enough to hear what I have to say. Our thoughts and our beliefs, okay, energetically, we don't have to verbalize them, but it's energy. It's like it's a pebble that goes into the pool of collective consciousness. When you drop our personal pebble or our unique pebble into the pool of collective consciousness, what happens when you drop a pebble in a pond? it ripples out and affects everything in that pond of still water. And we've all witnessed that. This is what happens when we are thinking or experiencing things in our inner or outer world. Yes, also, it starts with us first. So, whatever is going on with us, either we label it positive or negative, it actually contributes to the collective whole of the whole entire universe. So, when we change our thoughts for something more positive, we are adding more positivity to that collective pool because we are changing the dynamic of the pebble, the unique pebble that we are, because we're changing our energy and we're dropping that newer pebble into the pool of collective consciousness. So it's rippling out and it's affecting, because energy affects other energy, and it's adding to the collective consciousness. So when we're able to take ownership and responsibility for our life and our thoughts and beliefs, we are contributing to the evolution of the greater good. And you could either do this from, changing your thoughts to a more positive thing or a more negative thing. It doesn't matter. You're still contributing to the collective pool. And I hope I explained this well enough for people to understand that. But we are change makers. We think that we aren't, or we've been programmed to believe that we aren't by some external force or whatever. Maybe it's our ancestors, maybe it's what we are surrounded with, or sometimes we're brainwashed. I mean, let's face it. It's about returning to self and the pureness of our essence of who we are, embracing that and allowing that to come forth and come out through our physical body and our energy field to affect the changes and to really make a difference in the life of others, but also in humanity. So I know this is kind of a little tangent that I've kind of went off on, but it's still relating to self-compassion. So when we are compassionate with ourselves, we're able to raise our frequency and vibration so that we could better serve the masses. Okay. And it's about our unique contribution to the collective consciousness. It's really a beautiful thing. And what a beautiful gift to be able to give energetically to humanity. Okay. It could be a lasting gift. It may not be a tangible gift that you could see or feel, but energetically, it's there. So, something to ponder on. The whole self-compassion, especially during the holidays when we have a tendency to have our buttons pushed, or everybody around us seems to be a whirling dervish. I love that. It's like the Tasmanian devil. In my mind, I see these little cyclones moving around my energy field, and it's just like, whoa, okay, I have to laugh because it actually brings me a little joy to witness this, because it's like a comedy show sometimes that I'm seeing, but yet I could see this externally around me, but it's not pulling at my inner peace and inner calm that's within me. So it's really about balancing ourselves, knowing when to give, knowing when to receive, and allowing the essence of who we are to radiate out and to um, radiate out, but also to show the world energetically who we are, and to, be able to embrace and receive that from other people. We've all been around, before I go on break, I just want to say this. We've all been around people who, you just enjoy being around. And it's just like they don't have to say anything. It's just they exude some type of energetic essence. And we're talking about creating that essence. So we're getting ready to go on our next break already. I can't believe I've been yip yakking for this long today. But you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we come back, we'll kind of wrap it up a little bit and just put it together in a nice box with a nice meditation for you as a takeaway today. So stay tuned and we'll talk more about that when we return.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And, you know, in the infomercial break, you heard about the I'm Awake Now What podcast, or I wouldn't say podcast, but it's a monthly membership and it's a community and where we offer support, guidance, tools, healing, and insights for those on their spiritual awakening. And we had our maiden launch a few weeks ago, and we've been doing this weekly. So we hop on live weekly for about 30 minutes. My co-host, Cozy Stentakis, who is a body talk practitioner, her and I talk about topics that are relating to, you know, what many people are going through right now. And we just had an amazing episode on the whole topic of fear. And, you know, it's something that is such an old paradigm that we all go through that. And I invite you, if you're really, you know, feeling insecure, scared, fearful, this might be something to circle back. So you could find out more about that. Just go to my website, drdoloresfazzino.com, and look for the link, I'm Awake, Now What? And it'll give you the next commands as to what to go to in order to sign up for this, to gain more wisdom and clarity on your personal journey to spiritual awakening. So before we went on break, we we're talking about self-compassion, and deck the halls with self-compassion love is the topic of our episode today. And we talked a lot about how our self-talk is essential and how it really sets the tone for creating other things in our life. Our self-talk, whether it's being compassionate or uncompassionate, whatever we say to ourselves sometimes is not the nicest thing that we could be saying. So it's about, number one, being aware of your self-talk and being aware of what you're doing. When we have the awareness, then we can make a different choice. And you could become more observant and more um, in charge and influential within yourself to make those shifts. And self compassion is something that is a very easy thing to do. And we talked a little bit about my skeptics in the audience of just playing with that and having an experience so you can make a decision from an experiential point of view instead of something that you read or believe or heard from somebody else. Have your own experience, and then you could really make a better call as to whether or not it's for you or not. So with that in mind, I would like to lead you all through a guided meditation. I call it the gift of self-compassion. And so I'm just going to invite you to just find a comfortable place where you could be quiet for about 5 or 6 minutes and just be in a safe environment. And you could either sit down, lie down, whatever you're comfortable with. But we're going to just have this gift of stillness, a gift of self compassion just for you. So when you're ready, just find yourself in a comfortable position and just pause, close your eyes, and just take a deep breath in. Allow your breath to move through your lungs and expand your chest and your belly, and then just slowly blow it out through your mouth. And just reconnect with yourself. And take another deep breath in and slowly inhale deeply, breathing in calm and peace. And exhale slowly, letting go of any tension. And one more time, inhale deeply, breathing in calm, peace, and joy. And exhale slowly, letting go of any tension, pain, or distraction. And as you continue breathing, feel your body beginning to settle. Notice the surface beneath you holding you. Allow yourself to feel supported, safe, and grounded in the moment. Now, bring your awareness to the top of your head and imagine a warm golden light beginning to flow down over your scalp, softening your forehead and your temples. This light gently moves down your face, relaxing your jaw and releasing any tension in your neck and shoulders. And feel the light spreading warmth through your chest, down your arms, and into your hands. As this warming light moves down your torso, allow your stomach to soften, your hips to relax, and your legs to feel heavy. Finally, Let this golden light flow all the way down to your feet, grounding you to the earth below. So take a moment to turn your focus inward and gently place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly if that feels comfortable. Feel the warmth of your hands, a gesture of care and love for yourself. Now, silently repeat these words in your mind. I am worthy of love and compassion. I am worthy of love and compassion. I give myself permission to rest and recharge. I give myself permission to rest and recharge. I embrace my imperfections and honor my journey. I embrace my imperfections and honor my journey. If your mind begins to wander, that's okay. Simply bring it back to these words or the rhythm of your breath and just allow it to be there as it is without judging or criticizing it. As you breathe in, imagine filling yourself with kindness and peace. As you exhale, let go of judgment, self-doubt, or any pressure weighing on you. Now, picture a beautifully wrapped gift in front of you. This gift has your name on it, and inside is everything you need this holiday season: love, acceptance, joy, and ease. Visualize yourself opening this gift. Feel the warmth of self-compassion and love radiating out from this gift and surrounding you like a cozy blanket. Feel the warmth of this blanket. Take a moment to receive this gift fully, knowing it is always available to you whenever you need it. And as we come back to the room, I invite you to bring your awareness back with you. Wiggle your fingers and toes, gently waking your body, and take one final deep breath in and exhale. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes carrying this sense of self-compassion and love with you into the rest of your day. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. You are enough just as you are. So welcome back, everybody. Just allow yourself to be with what you're experiencing and the essence of that meditation. And we're going to go on to our final break. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And you're listening to today's episode, Deck the Halls with Self-Compassion and Love. And when we return, we'll just wrap it up. See you soon.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I can't believe it's the end of the episode already. That just went by so fast. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about Deck the Halls with self-compassion and love and on our episode today. And we were talking, just to recap of everything that we've talked about within the hour is, we are so busy in a world of doing that it's time to start being. And we really would benefit so greatly by just being kinder to ourselves. So self-compassion is just the most important, I think, gift that we could give to ourselves during the holiday season. And self-compassion, it's not about being selfish or being righteous or anything. It's about learning how to take care of ourselves and nurture ourselves and prioritizing ourselves so that we can show up as the best version of ourselves to others, our family, and other, the people that we come in contact with on a daily basis. It's your presence that is the present. And when we are compassionate with ourselves, we have a tendency to cut ourselves some slack. So it all starts from within ourselves of our self-talk that we have. And we talked about the impact of our thoughts and our beliefs and how it ripples out energetically into collective consciousness and the importance of that we can make a difference. It's about how we show up and how we are being versus what we are doing. Okay, something to consider. We also did a lovely meditation to get you all nice and juicy and getting ready to allow the essence of your deliciousness to go out into the world and to show up in your best version of yourself. So I think it's really important that, as we wrap up our segment here, the best gift that you could give yourself and others in the holiday season is your presence. When we prioritize our self compassion and love, you become a beacon of peace and joy for those around you. It's the essence. You don't have to say anything. It's just who you are, radiates and permeates from you energetically. And that's true for anything, because we walk into a room and you could feel the essence of people, what's going on with them if you're really dialed in and you just are quiet enough to observe what's going on versus being reactive to what you're being triggered at. By prioritizing self-compassion and love, you become a beacon of peace and joy for those around you. It's true. You don't have to be perfect, just present, mindful, and kind to yourself. The whole, being perfect is so last century or so last paradigm. We need to shift and change that. Just allow yourself to be as you are. Perfection is something that is such a man-made thing, and it's a coping mechanism. And if you have a tendency to be a perfectionistic person, maybe that's something to take a deeper dive in as we're on the cusp of the new year, to maybe work on that this next year. Something to think about. So carry the energy of self-compassion as you navigate through the holidays. If things feel overwhelming, return to the tools that we've shared today. And whether it's setting boundaries or taking a mindful pause or revisiting the meditation to recharge, just do that. Just be kind to yourself and allow yourself the grace of doing what you need to do to take care of self right now in the moment. And if that means taking a long winter's nap, by all means do that as well, because you'll feel so alive and awake after you do that, that it's like you rebooted your computer, your human body, and now you have the energy and the stamina to move forward. Remember, you are worthy of love, and not because of what you do or accomplish, but simply because of who you are. Okay? Things to remember. So I want to add a parting quote here, and it's from Buddha, and I really like this. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire world, deserve your love and affection. This is something to remember. And thank you for joining me today. And I'm wishing you a holiday season filled with self-compassion, joy, and peace. And we're still in the holiday season. So next week, we're going to segue into tapping into the essence of you. And I feel that this is another gift of the holiday season to give yourself. And so let's just talk a little bit about what next week's episode is going to be about. So it'll be a little teaser for those. Do you ever feel disconnected from your true self? Lost in the noise of everyday life? So join us next week when we delve into the depths of your being to uncover your authentic essence. If that sounds delicious to you, I invite you to come and sample the wares at our buffet. It's a holiday buffet. It's all these different things that we're going to be sampling. So just remember that you can live your life on your terms. You're not being selfish. It's essential for you to put yourself first and take care of yourself any time of the year, but most importantly, this time of the year, where we need your essence more than ever. So stay tuned next week. You're listening to Dr. Dolores on the Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And remember,
Thank you for listening to the
loved.
Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.